Understand, I'm in the media business. I've been a reporter for 25 years. I was a columnist for several years. I've been a sports commentator and a pundit since pretty much 1999, but for ESPN since 2003. I'm in the business of communicating. I'm in the business of talking to people, not just talking about them. Matter of fact, I've made a career of it. I don't care if I ever speak to Antonio Brown again in life. This kind of behavior on the part of him was so disgraceful, so embarrassing, so irresponsible, so selfish. It's hard for me to put into words. And from the principled position of knowing how to conduct yourself, we all make mistakes. Nobody's flawless. Nobody's perfect. But it's rare in a day where you see somebody intentionally engage in this level of insubordination, of distrust, and beyond. He has taped phone calls secretly. He has revealed private messages of teammates. He has stood up bosses. He's threatened bosses. He's done so many things that are nothing short of reprehensible and egregious. I don't understand how anybody can defend this. And as a black man, let me be very, very clear. While nobody should get away with it, and most wouldn't, when it comes to you being black and in America, it's not just about doing twice as much to get half. It's also about paying twice the price for half the egregious behaviors of others. We don't get chances like others do. And so I look at it, and I'm sitting there, because you're going to have some ignorant fools out there that use words like sellout. Y'all call up here today. Y'all thought I hung up on people in the past. Try me today.
The execution, the intensity. This game feels very different than a lot of the football we've been watching over recent days.
We don't fear anybody. No man, no team, no situation.
Drives it.
Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line.
If you missed any of my opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith Podcast, brought to you by the Capital One Quicksilver Card, earning unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Hey, what's in your wallet? Also, the Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by new Shell V-Power Nitro plus premium gasoline. Now with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. It's 32 minutes past hour number 1. Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, and of course, ESPN News. I'm having a number calling up my numbers here, for crying out loud, on my computer. I got it. Let's go to Dave. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Dave?
How you doing, my friend?
Dave, are you there? All
yes.
right, go ahead.
How you doing?
What's up?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk about the Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson. I agree with you 100% that Romeo Crennel was way past his prime, and he blew the coverage in the end of that game. And it's just, I think him and Bill O'Brien.
I didn't say he was all that. I didn't say he was past his prime. I'm just saying he's 72 years old, and the job that he's done last night and at the end of the season last year wasn't that great. We need to keep our eyes on it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But you are right though about Deshaun Watson. He is a star in the making, and if he had an offensive line like the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Ravens, this guy would take those teams to the Super Bowl because he is so talented, and they really need to shore up their offensive line. But you're right, he is a star in the making, and like I said, I'm a big fan of his. I saw him at Clemson, and I just knew he was going to ball out. And the last thing I wanted to say is,
I'm going to put that on though. Hold on. You know who I'm going to put on that? I'm going to put that on Bill O'Brien. You know why? Bill O'Brien is not only a head coach, but he's a former offensive coordinator. He's worked with quarterbacks like Tom Brady before. You got to know what this, Fred. You know how hard it was for Houston to find a quarterback for years? You know how hard? How many times they had to rely on Matt Sharp for crying out loud? You know how hard it was? You got a guy like this, a stud like this. The priority has to be to protect him. It has to be. Now, in fairness to them, I mean, you did move Tunsil over there. I get all that. But you got to protect this dude. You got to protect the dude. You protect him as a blind side, but you got to protect him, period. He can't get hit 11 times in the opener of the damn season. That just can't happen.
Let me ask you one final question before I get off here. What would you think about this? And I know this is kind of a little bit crazy, but I want you to consider this. He's such a valuable quarterback that's going to give you 10, 12 years if you protect him. Would it be worth even entertaining to go on to make a trade for Hopkins, who is a ball star, but you can get receivers anywhere to shore up that offensive line? Because if you protect him for 10, 12 years.
Hold it. Did you just call up to my show and propose trading Deshaun Watson? Is that what you just did?
No, Hopkins.
I'm sorry, I'm saying DeAndre Hopkins. You say to trade DeAndre Hopkins.
Listen, I don't want to give him up, but if we shore up that offensive line, we're good for 12 years. You can find receivers anywhere, not at Hopkins' level.
Hold on. You can find receivers like DeAndre, something close to DeAndre Hopkins?
Not close, but I'm saying if you don't protect Watson, then what good is Hopkins going to be? He's going to be just sitting there.
You got to find whatever. You got to listen. You can't give up a DeAndre Hopkins, 27-year-old wide receiver, one of the top 5 receivers in all of football. They don't come around every day. You can't do that. You got to find a different way because guess what? You can protect the quarterback all you want to. He going to still be getting hit if he got to hold on to the ball forever because he can't find nobody open. Hell no. That's a bad suggestion. Have a nice day. Bye. Talk to me tomorrow. I don't want to hear that. No. They traded DeAndre Hopkins. You crazy. CB, you live with Stephen A. Talk to me. What's up?
Oh, man, hallelujah. With the culmination of the NFL.
Oh, stop right there, CB. No rapping. Get to your point. This ain't no damn rap session. Don't try it. I'll hang up on you. Get right to it. Go ahead.
Okay. With the culmination of the NFL weekend, I thought it was beautiful. It was nice. And you hit the nail on the head talking about the Patriots and Tom Terrific. But I'm a Raider fan, and I was so happy, Stephen A. Hallelujah. Because with the departure of Antonio Brown, AB, I thought it was going to be cataclysmic for us. Now, you know how you say the Raiders have had a black cat walking around in the locker room. Hell, after AB left, I thought they were going to have a Black Panther walking around the locker room. But they showed up. They were respectful last night, and I was really proud. Derek, Carr, he did a good job. Yeah. He did a good job, and I really wasn't sold on Derek Carr, but I like Derek Carr. But he did a respectful job, no interceptions. He managed the game well, and our defense looked pretty stout. They were getting in on Flacco, so I was really happy for that. Now, the game before that, dealing with Drew Brees, my goodness, what a game that was. Oh, man, that came down to the wire. So I enjoyed the NFL weekend, especially with the culmination of my mighty Raiders winning.
Well, we'll see hold on, CB. You call back anytime, man. Call back next week. Let's see what the Raiders do next week and the week after that. That's one game. Thank you. They didn't start the season 0-3 like they did last time, but let's see what they do. We'll find out. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Let's go to Michael. You're live with Stephen A. What's going on, Michael? How are you?
Oh, man, Steve, I'm so happy to be on this show, dude. Thank you so much for your time. I'll answer your question first on are people exhausted with the AB trade now that the Patriots have another added. I say this. Here's a point I don't think anybody thinks of. The Patriots have dominated in so many different ways without weapons, with injuries, with plagued with you name it, they've dealt with it, and still they come up with that big fat W. And I'm a Niners fan. I love my red and gold, but I I'll tell you this. I'm not only am I super excited about seeing AB there, it's more because of now I get to see them with such an amazing offensive weapon that Tom Brady, I don't think he's seen in quite some time. It's kind of like, well,
he hasn't seen it since Randy Moss. But what I'm saying is, you're happy about that?
I'm happy to see, because I don't in this regard. I don't think we're ever going to see a dynamic duo of coach and quarterback that are so in tune with each other, in tune with the game, and they are chess experts at making the other coaching staff. With Tom Brady out there, practically a coach himself, it's like I'm just like excited. Like, well, dang, let's just see what this is, because I don't think I'm ever going to see anything like this again in the NFL.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Too many people talk about Spygate, Deflategate, all of this other stuff, and they try to sit up there and talk about Bill Belichick and the Patriots cheating. You know what? At some point in time, you just got to concede. The man is just better than everybody else. Because you know who I never hear complaining about Bill Belichick? The players. No. I don't hear the players. I've never heard one NFL player deny his genius as a football coach, ever. I've never heard that.
I think that commercial with Tom Brady and all the rest of the stars at the beginning of the Super Bowl last year when he says, here, hold all these rings. I think that states everything right there. But back to one of the things I want to ask you on the Miami Dolphins with that trade rumor with all the players coming off. I'm just curious why nobody's talking about, hey, players on Miami Dolphins. Okay, let's say they are tanking. Why not use this as an opportunity to go out there and just blow your position out of the water as an individual and possibly earn yourself onto a team that really does perhaps care about winning? I don't know what Miami's doing, but I'm just like wondering why that message.
Stop. Why are we acting like we don't know what the Miami Dolphins are doing? The Miami Dolphins are trying to rebuild. They have made the playoffs 1 year since 2009. They know they stink. What do they do? Now, if they've made moves that were bad and incompetent, I got what people are saying. But they got first-round picks. They've got second-round picks. They're clearly trying to build for the future. Why are players acting like they've never been a part of something like this before? That is just factually false. There's plenty of teams each year that are building and trying to retool to get themselves competitive down the line. The Dolphins are clearly one of those teams. What's the problem?
Well, irregardless, I'll tell you this, and this is my last thought. I loved this week. I was so happy to watch football again. I'm back in it. Super excited about my Niners. I liked what I saw. But I'll tell you what, if I was a Miami cornerback, I'd probably call in sick this coming week. I wouldn't even go.
All right. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Well, you're just showing you're not a competitor. That's all. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show. ESPN Radio, ESPN News, back with your calls and more in a minute before hour number 2 jump starts with the great one himself, the mouth of the South, Paul Feinbaum. By the way, have you ever had to miss a football game because you couldn't watch the game? That never has to happen again with TuneIn, your all-in-one audio app for live sports, news, music, and podcasts. With TuneIn Premium, you can listen to live and on-demand coverage of every single game of the NFL season, including every NFL on ESPN Radio matchup. And that's just the beginning. TuneIn also gives you access to every MLB, NBA, and NHL game, not to mention college football, local and national sports radio, and sports podcasts on ESPN Radio, like yours truly, The Stephen A. Smith Show.